oranges and lemons, say the bells of St. Clement's. You and me 5 farthings, say the bells of St. Martin's. When will you pay me, say the bells of Old Bailey. When I grow rich, say the bells of Shoreditch. When will that be, say the bells of Stepney. I do not know, says the great bell of Bow.
Welcome to London!
Not just the capital of England, but of this fine union of ours, but an empire!
An empire on which the sun never sets.
This is a place with different voices and accents, so from across the country, where people meet from across the globe.
On the fine spring day, they never a place to be. Blossom on the trees, birds in the sky, birds singing in the sky. I forgot the last bit. Laughter of children playing in the streets.
Fresh fruit and fish in the boroughs at the market.
Women scrubbing their front steps, men in their work boots heading off to a place of honest labour.
Flat caps mixing with top hats and bonnets mixing with mock caps. Like we said, on a fine spring day, no better place to be. One big happy family.
Here comes a candle to light you to bed.
Every day has its dark hours, and every year has its dark seasons.
Here comes the chop off your head.
Then this place is different.
Chop, chop, chop.
Five, maybe 6 million souls come and go from this place. The affluent and the effluent rubbing up against each other. Sometimes well, sometimes not.
People, so many
people.
This place, the stench of manure underfoot.
The stench of the Thames, lapping, leaping at its banks.
Sickly, sweet, mouldy mank, maggoty rot of fruit and veg. Fish guts and ill guts too, as they lie in the clogged gutter.
And a million houses burning coal to catch the battle of my throat, to make your eyes burn, and a smoke to cover all manner of sins.
And sins there are plenty.
Not to do play. Some work, some beg.
Some never seen again. In a murk and a gloom of 1,000 back streets, under a wake and watery gaslight.
People come and go, but can the grand flagpole of the Syria of the Empire.
Handsome cabs with ugly men.
Desperate people selling anything can lay their hands on.
And if they got nothing else, they could sell themselves.
Oh.
Sell their character, sell their souls.
Flesh and blood, penny dreadful, where even the wild-eyed fellow on the corner wearing his, the end is nigh born. It's just a throat slit away from being proved right.
So, yes, welcome to London. Cold, close.
Coughing, crowded, foaming, cacophonous London.
Three doors, his beard, then huff thou boots.
Police whistles, factory machinery, forecast of barges, headed downstream to sick caverns, Sidwell and Tilbury.
Distant church bells, dogs chasing cats, cats chasing birds, birds chasing insects as they hover above the filth on the streets.
Sometimes
But above it all, high and sweet and clean and clear,
Crossing through the cloud, like an angel sword through sin.
From a window above a street.
Just up between Hyde Park and Regent's Park.
Along from Marylebone and above Mayfair.
Number 221B it is.
I can hear it now.
Hallelujah.
That violin will be the death of me. How am I supposed to keep house with that sound rattling around the rooms?
I hear you, Mrs. Hudson!
And I hear you, Mr. Holmes. Morning, noon and night I hear you.
Do you remember what Darwin says about music?
He claims that the power of producing and appreciating it existed among the human race long before the power of speech was arrived at. Perhaps that is why we are so subtly influenced by it. There are vague memories in our souls of those misty centuries when the world was in its childhood.
I have nothing better to do than think about just that all day, Mr. Holmes.
I think Mrs. Hudson is a little uncertain of her Darwin and his thoughts on music.
She should be thankful that I am playing rather than skulking around the rooms in the deepest gloom.
Something will come there's my fob watch. Why is something always in the last place you look for it?
I rather suspect that after finding it, one stops looking! I apologise, John, but if some challenge does not present itself to me soon, I feel the blackness coming upon me. Watson, I need a case, or I shall reach for the bottle and be no use to anyone for days to come. My mind is like a racing engine, tearing itself to pieces, because it is not connected up with the work for which it was built. Life is commonplace, the papers are sterile, audacity and romance seem to have passed forever from the criminal world.
Something will come along.
I need something to test myself against. No grubby jewel thief or disappeared husband. I need a three-pipe problem.
Perhaps you could spend these leisure hours learning something new. In many respects you are the world-class expert, but in other matters you are the newest of schoolboys. I can teach you something about which you know little of.
Watson, I consider that a man's brain originally is like a little empty attic, and you have to stock it with such furniture and tools as you choose. A fool takes in all the items of every sort that he comes across, so that the knowledge which might be useful to him gets crowded out, or at best is jumbled up with a lot of other things, so that he has a difficulty in laying his hands upon it. Now, the skillful workman is very careful indeed as to what he takes into his brain attic. He will have nothing but the tools which may help him in doing his work. But of these, he has a large assortment, and all in the most perfect order. It is a mistake to think that this little room has elastic walls and can grow to any extent. Depend upon it, there comes a time when for every addition of knowledge, you forget something that you knew before. It is of the highest importance, therefore, not to have useless facts elbowing out the useful ones.
I sometimes forget your brain works in a way that might be called a singular fashion. Not like the rest of ours. Other men your age may be thinking of, I don't know, women.
women are never to be entirely trusted. But what's the best of them? Their motives are so inscrutable. How can you build on such a quicksand? Their most trivial action may mean volumes, or their most extraordinary conduct may depend upon a hairpin or a curling tongs.
But what of love, my friend? What of love?
Love is an emotional thing, and whatever is emotional is opposed to that true cold reason which I place above all things.
Sometimes I think you are an automaton, a calculating machine. There is something positively inhuman at you at times. Look at these people, Londoners, your neighbours, all going about their lives. You treat them as though they are a different species.
Dirty-looking rascals. But I suppose everyone has some little immortal spark concealed about him. You would not think it to look at them. A strange enigma is man.
And a soul concealed in each rascal?
Perhaps. While each individual man is an insoluble puzzle, if combined or collected, he becomes a mathematical certainty. You can, for example, never foretell what any one man will do, but you can say with precision what an average number will be up to. Individuals vary, but percentages remain constant. So says the statistician.
No, I am wrong. In truth, you are all heart.
You mock me. I know it. But who do they turn to when they are baffled? To me, and this calculating machine of a brain. They look to me for my ability to discern data where others see nothing and infer what has led to the data.
Some police officers to see you, sir. Shall I show them in?
Perhaps an answer to my prayer. Please do, Mrs. Hudson.
Mr. Holmes?
Officers! How good to see you. Oh. My dear friend, you should really have your house updated to gas lamps, as living with only candles to see is very bad for the eyes.
But how did...
And this fellow I see has either recently lost a wife, or perhaps she is away for some reason.
She's in the country with her sister.
And I see that all of you came on foot from the south. The soil deposits on your boots alert me to this. Very different from the north, you see.
I see.
It is elementary.
Is it?
And you really should upgrade your choice of tobacco, my friend. The poorer sorts can be so bad for the lungs.
How does he?
Gentlemen, do not panic. He sees what others do not.
Now, my friends, I am sure you came for a reason. Something interesting, I hope?
Certainly interesting.
Oh, good!
Actually, quite baffling.
Excellent! What crime has been committed?
None! None?
None! There was no crime.
But there was a spectacle in Trafalgar Square!
Something odd.
Something out of place.
Something out of time.
1,500 miles out of place.
2,000 years out of time.
Just sit there, doing nothing, saying nothing.
There was a note. It says they won't do anything until you arrive.
Whatever this is all about, it's you that's supposed to see it, to hear it.
Well then, let's see it. Let's hear it. That, my friends, was a portent.
What?
What? As if from an oracle.
What?
A glimpse into the future, in the shape of a riddle, if I am not mistaken. It is our task to solve the riddle, to stop the crime from ever happening.
Who starts?
I heard something about bars being bent.
Locks broke.
Did they not write it down for us?
I have it here in my head.
In your brain, Attic?
Indeed. And I am happy to report that it is not as complex as you fear. It started thus. Beneath the mound of the bear's ear, a ring within a ring. Hear the cry of freedom called, hear the song of freedom sing. Londoners all, they will have their liberty, held no more in sad captivity.
Number is prisoners.
Convicts?
Bongans?
Ne'er-do-wells?
Out they spill and havoc wreak. Brave man cry and children shriek. Chaos ensues, a calamity falls.
I think it is prisoners.
1,000 whoops and howls and calls.
Or maybe not.
Voices you'll not understand. Across the empire they have come.
That's unlikely. The chaps banged up here are mostly local.
They'll fly this city and take to the hills while you all watch wide-eyed and dumb. Scaling walls and hissing and clawing. Into your homes you are withdrawing. The bars are bent and locks are broke. Prisons no more, on the jailer the joke.
It is prisoners!
Riddle me this. What will we do if you should fail to unlock this clue?
So, whoever's behind this wants to let out a whole crowd of felons, and maybe Wormwood Scrubs.
Maybe Pentonville?
Or Wattsworth?
Or Newgate.
And what of the first line? A double clue, a triple clue even, and one you have made no mark on.
How did it go again?
Beneath the mound of the bear's ear, a ring within a ring.
Well done, Watson, my dear friend. Of course, a bear's ear might make us think of animals. Clue 1. Clue 2. A bear's ear is a common name for a flower in the genus of Primula, also known as...
Sorry?
A primrose?
Primrose Hill?
The mound, it's a hill.
But beneath the hill, not on top of it.
What is beneath Primrose Hill?
The park?
A ring within a ring.
It's the other circle, the outer circle.
The circle, it's a ring. You're right.
And what is at the very bottom of Primrose Hill and between the inner and outer circles or rings of Regent's Park?
From blood to all the animals to free the beasts.
Is that even a crime?
I think that public disorder is a crime. Putting lives in jeopardy is a crime.
We must protect the zoo.
Must you?
You said...
I said of what, but we have yet to learn of when. This will not be our only riddle. There is a mind behind this, which I feel has only just begun to wind itself up. More is to come. The game is afoot. The challenge is on. Watson, we must return to Baker Street.
Those queer chaps are here for you, Mr. Holmes. I said they should await your return.
We got the word that you needed us, Mr. Holmes.
Who the devil are these fellows?
These, Watson, are what I call the Baker Street unofficials. You should see them as something like an unofficial police force.
We see what others do not, Mr. Watson. I am Wiggins, and this pack go everywhere, and here, everything. Sharp as needles they are.
And for the right price, our services have been bought by your friend here to deliver the information which the more official officers of the law may not recognise.
Or might never been seen in the first place.
We can go where others can't.
Who amongst the millions out there will give us a second glance?
May I go unseen and heard,
Unnoticed,
Untouched, untraceable.
Why, we are more than glancing at them.
We are listening.
We are following.
We are noticing. And we are
talking back.
To me, and the fine service you have done me many a time before.
Oh, I see.
No.
No?
No, you see nothing.
You must forgive my friends, Watson. They play by different rules than our friends at Scotland Yard. They are definitely not criminal, nor are they wholly legal. They move in the grey areas.
That's us. We'll be in the shadows.
Which is where unsuspected truth can be found, oftentimes.
They may pick up some garbage in the darker recesses of the underworld, for it is down there, amid the black roots of crime, that we must hunt for the secrets to help shine light on this mystery. My dear unofficials, you are on a fact-finding mission. Ask subtle questions and see if there is a feeling in London that anything is rumbling under the surface of normal life. Any hint that something out of the ordinary, the run-of-the-mill, is about to happen. Go to the darker places and ask the people who will know, but ask them whilst giving away nothing. A shilling per day for each of you, and a guinea for any real information.
Yes, sir.
But the guinea has to be for real information.
We'll report back in 4 and 20 hours, sir.
And Holmes, what do we do?
We wait, John. We wait. We sit. We smoke a pipe or two. We wonder at what sort of extraordinary criminal mind might tell of their crimes before they are committed. And we wait.
Sir Clement sprang, and so did St Martin's.
All across London they rang, ringing for Holmes and for Watson, ringing for me and for you.
Old Bailey, Shoreditch, Stepney, and the Great Barrel Bow. Tick,
Tick
tock,
tick tock, the bells they ring around the clock.
Night comes on Owl's hoot, rat scuttle, all is quiet except them birds. A storm rages again, then not a word until...
Back! What a fear again! Riddling!
New day! New riddle!
It was just as before, like they just stepped off some Athenian amphitheatre.
Just stood there, waiting for the right listener was ready to listen.
Dreamed of by weary and slow to emerge. Many a fairy song, many a dirge. Spirits of rovers onward and bunk. The largest coach hides behind
say that I am baffled, but I do love the old tales from ancient Greek theatre.
I can't say no much about them.
They deal with what you might call the big themes. So emotional.
Emotional. You think so?
You don't, Mr. Holmes?
Perhaps Watson and I see the same thing through a different lens.
Where I see powerful human feelings, expressions of the heart and soul.
Perhaps.
An examination of relationships. Family, love, trust, faith, revenge.
And you see?
Civic instruction. That might be the best description.
How so?
The ancient Greeks had no religious text to look to. No Bible, no Quran, no Torah. Yet somehow they functioned as a people with a moral compass, a guide to living with each other, among each other. I see theatre as an instrument in this process. Ancient Greek theatre was, at its best, a form of conversation among civil society about matters of importance. Perhaps it is what all storytelling is at heart.
But what of the feelings, the rage, the pity, the loyalty, the heroism, the sacrifice, the battle with fate?
Ah, these, and how we deal with them, are precisely the matters of importance I have just described.
Theatre to you is a little manual for everyday life.
What else would it be?
You can't both be right!
Oh, but we can! That is the joy of any art, surely.
It merely depends on one's perspective.
As long as it teaches us to not murder our own children.
Or marry our mothers. Perhaps it matters little how we learn the lesson.
Through feelings and emotions.
And logic and reason.
The learning is the thing.
You baffle me, gentlemen, you really do.
And a riddle. What do you make of it?
I heard of a William at the start. Perhaps that is Shakespeare. They said he had a theatre on the south bank of the Thames.
Then who are the brothers?
On who the bug?
But what of the angel have they mentioned? It's in North London, not near the Thames at all.
Gentlemen, I fear you are, as am I, clutching at straws. Sherlock.
Dreamed of by William, slow to emerge. Many a merry song, many a dirge. This, of course, must mean William the Conqueror, and a place which has seen enjoyable and horrific times. Spirits of brothers on a wood bunk. The largest ghost hides behind leathery trunk. Henry III was the first to bring animals to this place, where two princes are said to have breathed their last.
And what hides behind the leather trunk?
Let me think. Monkey?
A shepherd?
Hippo?
Elephant?
Ah, well done! And the angel is the Byward Angel, painted in the 14th century, in the days of this country's Catholic faith. And of course, the Black Wing is... Though few people know that a raven has a blue eye when young, which turns brown as it matures.
What a brain.
Ah, you make a valid point. In many ways, I am no more or less than a brain. The rest of me is a mere appendix.
Oh, what on God's earth is the appendix?
I know this. The simplest use of that word can merely mean a bottle or a jar.
But the ampulla we are concerned with here is one which contains anointed oil.
Anointed oil? You can't be.
Oh, but I do.
That's used in the coronation.
Are we talking the Tower of London?
Should we stand on ceremony? Should we be more calm? How many fates in this place have come to mortal harm? Guido, conspirators, shot, hung and quartered, souls and bodies, minds and hearts, mistreated and tortured. And what is most prized in that place of both dark and light? Who will miss them if taken? Would scandal break with empires shaken?
So the crime is to take place at the Tower of London and London Zoo?
And perhaps that's not all. Who is to say there are not yet more riddles to come from this fiendish mind?
This is no ordinary criminal.
No ordinary crime.
Luckily, we have no ordinary detective on our side.
If only because of this great city knew what was planned for them.
There was a dark mind at work.
But it was, as yet,
So the good men and women.
on the same plan.
So the good men and women slept on, and the children dreamed their dreams.
Turn down the lights above the cloud. Hold on tight to your father and mother. Blow out the candle, brother and sister.
day, crisp and cold.
Strange things are afoot. Odd games being played by someone with a certain flair.
Have you been up all night, old chap?
Sleep would not come, for out there, somewhere, lies a mind very like my own, possibly a match for my own, thinking, as you suggest, odd thoughts, but thoughts of evil and not justice.
A mind like yours?
But the mirror image, the dark to my light, the depth to my height.
Those actor chaps must know something. They will have had communication from this.
Criminal mastermind?
We don't know that for sure, not yet.
But perhaps. And the actors have not dealt directly with this new fiend. Much too clever for that. We should expect great things, Watson. Great, terrible things.
This thing was becoming a feature. People strolled past Trafalgar Square on the off chance.
Any sign of them today?
Who knows? They never give any advance notice.
And they never say a word or move a muscle until you arrive.
So we just have to wait.
And wait.
I ain't waiting.
Especially in the blooming cold.
Here! Mr. Holmes! Mr. Holmes!
Oh, this is dark. Dark indeed.
You have to enlighten us.
Shh. Not here. Not now. To do so would cause panic. public must not know of this, and still we do not know when this terrible act might happen. I fear increased security must be put in place, but perhaps not uniformed officers or even uniformed soldiers. To do so would raise alarm.
But where is this increased security going, Holmes?
I fear it is all too simple. Not a townhouse, but a house with the sound of a town. This surely must be...
Buckingham Palace?
Buckingham!
Dear Lord.
Let me work this through. Wind, Nash, Bloor and Webb picked up pencil, drew it down. Stone from Portland, Con and Bath. That would be the architects who worked on the various versions of the palace and the materials from which it is built. Faces stare from every wall.
They do. I hear it. I can tell them once.
Triumph Arch has gone elsewhere.
The Model Arch, maybe.
Which isn't now where it used to be.
Isn't it?
Is it?
For 17 years, it stood at the top of the Mall.
Well, I never.
Don't be confused by the Sheffield title. That moniker's gone, but once was vital. Different owner, greater fame, lives there now with Teutonic name.
John Sheffield was the Duke of Buckingham.
Is that why it's called Buckingham Palace?
I suppose so.
What does Teutonic mean?
German. A German name.
Boss of the business since 18.
She has 9 children. She has what was the word?
Mutter. It means mother.
What would it mean for country, nation, if person was taken from house and station? This crime is the worst, most horrid of all. Protect one so big, defend one so small.
So big? What does that mean?
Her status.
That's why so small.
Her Highness is a mere slip of a thing.
Hardly a slip of a thing.
Kid, it's all right.
But not true. You must admit that. Mr. Holmes, are you saying?
Setting free the animals? A paltry matter. Stealing some trinkets? Trinkets can be refashioned, but this is beyond all sense.
And what motive?
Only one I can think of, but I have no evidence of that. For now, we must increase the security at the palace and wait for our last riddle.
How do you know there'll be a last riddle?
Because if I were this criminal with such flair instead of the polar opposite, that is exactly what I would do. I sometimes wonder that the world of crime is a poorer place for me having not joined its ranks.
We can all give thanks for that.
We are both alert. Scotland Yard at the village.
But my equal is there. He walks among them. He is the center of the web.
Your equal? I didn't know you had one.
Neither did I. I admit that I feared one day this would happen, but I also feared that it never would. All my work has led to this challenge, Watson. This battle of wits. A wit as sharp as mine, a gaze as intense, but faced in the opposite direction, towards the dark.
Then perhaps from this moment on, you should be asking yourself, Holmes, what would I do?
I think we know what this other me will do now, John. He will make us wait.
And you speak of a motive?
Shh. Too horrible to speak of. I cannot voice it.
Holmes waited, Watson waited, and the police waited. They all waited.
London held its breath. Suspicions and half-truths leaked and soaked the city.
Embers of rumour started fires when the winds of chatter fanned the flames.
But who really knew anything?
No one.
We've never known the criminal underworld to be so tight-lipped, Mr. Holmes.
Very strange out there it is.
Very strange.
There's normally someone a bit tipsy who's about to blab.
Some petty jealousy means someone will talk. Not this time.
It's like they all know something.
But no one is saying
Nothing. I think you'll find that that is a confusing double negative, as it actually means someone is saying something. Perhaps not your time?
Quite so, Watson.
like we said, no one is saying nothing.
Then the spider at the centre of this web is not the usual fare.
Not this time.
This is the rise of a new sort of monster.
It could be.
Something only seen in nightmares.
Possibly.
And all that stands between order and unimaginable disaster is the military, Scotland Yard, you, Watson,
and that brain of yours.
Hey! A pan of bacon.
A bit of 2x4.
We are not.
And we are not, and you don't forget it.
My friends, you work in a mysterious way, and you do work. That I am pleased to confirm, but I fear that we face a foe like no other, and the resources of the state may need to be rallied to defeat them.
Do you hear that? We do work, he said.
A well-oiled machine.
They'll be
deadly.
Not
accidentally.
But
effective.
That's better. Effective? And that's us.
You will find us in the shadows.
You know where we are.
And we know where you are.
Oh, I say.
Relax, we're just joking with you.
Good.
Oh,
are
It was cold.
It was Dickens gold.
Ice like a weight on your chest.
The cold and chill seeping through the brick and the stone.
Creeping into your muscle and bone.
But great for the young. Snowball fights and sledges on the hill.
Not so good for some others. Arthritis and broken hips.
And through it all, they waited because Mr. Holmes said there'd be one more.
One more riddle.
One more clue.
But not about where, or what, or who.
But about when.
Mr. Holmes.
Standing there in the biting chill of Trafalgar Square, one last show.
He's here.
The city looked across from the actors with their masks on their roads, with nonsense of words soon for the great detective.
To Baker Street. This is the worst one of all.
And 23.5 degrees. Maybe something cooks for that temperature.
All various degrees. North or south? Like on a compass?
Something about being halves and quarters. That's all that I know.
It's a mystery to me.
Did you make head or tail, Mr. Holmes?
I dare say you have some idea.
Some idea? Oh yes, my friends.
Well?
1:38 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time on the 22nd of December this month.
That's awfully specific, Mr. Holmes.
Ugh. That's because our riddle solution was awfully specific.
It was.
It was.
Feel free to enlighten us.
There is a right moment, a single moment, a moment of balance, a perfect time.
I'm still not with you.
All we know can be halved and quartered.
Again, not so I follow.
It's the 23.5 degrees which unlocks it.
Is it?
It is. And this has been known since the 1430s.
Not by me.
23.5 degrees is... Ugh. The angle at which the Earth is tilted to the sun. And without that angle, no seasons, no equinoxes.
Equinoxes?
When time itself is halved and quartered. And the next is... This moment is unmarked by clocks, but might be seen by skulking fox. Silent come and silent go, not even yet a dawning glow. At 1:38 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time on the 22nd of December this month.
At which point, London Spartans will be guarded Buckingham Palace!
And London Zoo!
And the Crown Jewels.
Mr. Holmes, you're a genius! A blooming genius!
And Scotland Yard waited and watched and waited.
As the Thames froze.
The military joined forces with the boys in blue.
The foe rolled in and stayed in.
3 times 1 moment. What could be simpler? Just stand guard, wait and watch as the clock ticked.
Ticked.
Tick. Towards December 22nd, 1895.
1895.
Are you quite well, old chap?
I fear that everything feels too neat, as if I may have missed something.
I suspect that, as ever, you have missed nothing at all. Midnight. Strange to think that 3 major crimes will be through, and I like to think that by me asking you, what would I do, was of some little help.
John, you are something close to a genius! But I am afraid that I have been something close to a fool!
How so?
Because it has taken me far too long to truly say to myself, if I were this criminal mastermind, what would I do? Mrs. Hudson!
Whatever can it be at this hour?
Have someone trusted deliver these 2 notes at speed to these 2 addresses. The nation depends upon it!
Very well, if you say so.
From 221B Baker Street and into a carriage.
Where are we going?
What would I do? I finally answered the question.
But London is safe!
London is in grave peril. The Empire is in danger.
Where are we going?
To save the day.
But where? I can't see your hand in front of my face.
No matter, for we are here.
Where is here?
The scene of the crime.
But your crimes are being filmed by Scotland Yard and the army.
What would I do, Watson? That is the question.
What would you do, Holmes?
You would set a wild goose chase.
Leaving not a single officer of the law or the military within striking distance of this hallowed place.
I half wish and half feared you would see through it.
I suddenly saw it all, how a whole section of the city would be unprotected, your chance to work undisturbed.
But how did you know it would be this place?
Perhaps you have not heard of the work of the German philosopher Friedrich Schelling, translated into English by Coleridge. They tell of the workings of the human mind.
I know all about the human mind.
But do you?
Of course.
Then you will know that the mind has a conscious and an unconscious.
David?
Of course, I am not a child.
But the workings of the unconscious are subtle, shrouded even from the one in whose mind it lives.
What are you saying?
Yes, what are you saying?
You displayed wit, charm, and flair by delivering your riddle through the medium of an ancient Greek chorus. But in hiding, you revealed yourself. In cloaking yourself in darkness, you shone a light. Because your unconscious mind had the better of you.
What?
Your target was never to release the animals from London Zoo, steal the crown jewels, or abduct the Queen and Empress. Your Greek theme gave you away.
You won't stop me.
Watson, what is the most Greek, the most Hellenic, the most Athenian thing in London?
The Elgin Marbles.
And they are where?
In the British Museum.
Indeed. They are here.
They're too big to steal.
Not too big to destroy.
Professor Moriarty!
In the name of all that's rational, why?
One word, Watson.
Chaos.
Chaos?
Pure and simple.
Anarchy, turmoil, ferment. Anything but order.
But I ask again, why? Why chaos?
Because there is only one class of person who benefits from chaos, Watson.
Correct.
It can't be as simple as all that.
An ordered world offers the decent citizen much, but offers the petty thief little. But bring in fear and intolerance of one's neighbour, bring in strife, bring in need and want and shortage, and someone will benefit.
Here I am.
But why would the destruction of the Elgin Marbles bring such chaos, Holmes?
You fool.
Oh,
Because, despite being fairly and squarely bought by the British, the Greeks still declare a hold over them. Their destruction would be a national scandal and a national disgrace. The Greeks would demand reparation, and we would, of course, refuse. Their allies would rally behind them, and ours behind us. Old enmities would flare, ancient jealousies and grudges would be aired, and treaties would be tested. Europe is a house of cards ready to collapse, a tinderbox, and this is all the spark it needs to ignite. At times of instability, the good people of all nations find their peace shattered, and they fall into a form of psychic shock, leaving them open to lies, false claims, charlatans, fakes and frauds. People who will stop at nothing to magnify those small differences between people instead of amplifying the many major similarities between all good folk. At these times, some try to grab for power and influence, but the lowest will simply aim for riches. And I thought you might be the equal of me. And all the time it was about grubby, banal money. You really have let me down.
It sounds as though you're talking about a war.
A war from which I would benefit.
You're inhuman.
Perhaps, John, but not prepared to die, I feel.
I will destroy this room and all the rooms around it. I can detonate from a safe distance, destroying work from not just Greece, but so many other places. Every European country, the Americas, China, Japan, highlighting this British obsession to steal in plain sight. I can make it into dust and fragments. Call it an insurance policy. You know, there is no military or police within 2 miles of it. Ha 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 ha!
But you will have to pass us first.
You think I fear you? I have the skills and strength of Sherlock.
Perhaps this is my test!
Who are you?
We are not a pound of bacon!
What the devil does that mean? Who are you?
We're unofficial and we work. That's all you need to know.
And then there's us.
What? Who are you?
We are the actors. We are the ones who delivered your riddles.
We worked hard. We did the job.
We learned.
We performed in the camp.
It was really cold.
And
we
what? But I gave the money to the person who delivered your riddles to you. The person who gave you your instructions.
But that person was, like yourself, a criminal?
Wow. Yes.
I think we can all agree that you have been very foolish indeed.
All I had to do was think, as my friend here suggested. What would I do? So, I too brought an insurance policy.
out on ice or in water? Who can say?
It was dark.
Dark. There was fog.
Nobody was found.
One was found.
The car was safe.
For now.
And only because of that mind, that brain.
Logical, rational reason.
Not so great as society events.
Not so great at diplomacy.
But focus on a task unmatched, unrivaled.
Always watching, listening, analysing.
Romantic, not so much.
A little intolerance of the lazy, sloppy ways of others.
Definitely.
Do you figure others
Others?
like you?
I am not unique. I know that to be impossible.
Well, if not unique, perhaps you should find a different word for you. Special.
Surely we're all special, John. That much you told me. Every rascal having a soul?
I wonder where they are then. The others, like you.
Hidden, I suspect, and misunderstood, but perhaps not forever. I often think, John, that the past is done. It's over. The only thing we can fix is the future. What fools we would be as a nation to hide such interesting voices, views, perspectives.
Why should we paint with such few colours when we could have a full palette?
Why cook with such bland ingredients when we can have fresh tastes?
John, we stand at the close of 1895, but one day it will be 1905, 1945, 2025, and perhaps those voices will be heard then.
Bringing colour.
Bringing flavour.
Bringing new ideas not thought of by a more typical mind.
What fools will be?
I wonder what the world would be like if they, these others, were let loose on it.
John, it would be efficient. Very efficient.
And where do the ladies fit into this new world, Sherlock?
Well, perhaps given that women can now earn degrees, perhaps my talk of hairpins and curling tongs was a little
old-fashioned.
I can embrace change, Watson, just slowly, in my own time.
There may be a woman out there with a mind to match yours, if you are so sure you're not a one-off, unique.
Oh no, not unique. That much I know. You really should meet my brother.
Brother?
Now, he is the genius of the family.
Well, I never. Full of surprises you are, Holmes. I feel I could give you the biggest embrace a chap could ever give.
Which we both know will never happen. As they say, metaphorically of course, hell will freeze over first. Come, John, Baker Street.
So there you have it. London in all her glory.
Because of every villain, there is 10 heroes.
For every hour of dark, there is light to balance us all
Every tear, a dozen smiles.
For every last breath drawn, a newborn is opening their eyes to fiction, full of wonder, full of life, full of potential, just to make the world a little bit better.
For every angry fist, there's 100 tender touches. But somehow, it's always the fist that makes the headlines.
If we look around, what do we see?
People! Most people are basically blooming good.
Some people are basically amazingly blooming good, but they rarely make the front page.
Maybe I'm going soft, or maybe you caught me on a good day. But now that I think about it, yes.
Welcome to London!
Not just the capital of England, or this fine union of ours, but an empire!
An empire in which the sun never sets.
This is a place with different voices and accents, so from across the country, where people meet from across the globe.
On a fine spring day, there's never a place to be. Blossom on the trees, birds singing in the sky, children playing on the streets.
Fresh fruit and veg at the barrows in market. Women scrubbing their front steps, men in their work boots, paying off to a place of honest labour.
Flat caps mixing with top hats and bonnets mixing with mop caps. Like we said, on a fine spring day, no better place to be.
One big happy family!